chatting in the entire commercial break. Hopefully you don't mind saying that all over again. I've been picking her brain. About, much has been said about distractions for kids of all ages.
Yes.
But we seem to focus mostly on electronics, on screen time, television time, video gaming, but there are more distractions for kids than just electronics.
There absolutely. It's your home environment. Learning is very experiential. So if there's lots happening at home, people are upset, your children are going to be upset if they're overbooked in too many activities, too much going on, discord in the classroom, discord with their classmates. If they're tired and they're upset, they're also distracted. Children love routine. If they don't know what to expect, it throws them off their game, it derails them, and that is in turn going to affect their learning. It's going to affect how well they're going to perform in the classroom. When a child is distracted, they're also a source of distraction for other children.
Right.
You talk to any classroom teacher and they'll tell you how much time they spend controlling their classroom and teaching their children how to stay on task. That's where we as adults need to take charge. Just telling our children, you have to be quiet when you're studying won't work.
Right.
Modeling plays a big role. If your children see that you're not dealing well with stress and you're not organized and staying on top of things, just telling them won't work. They will follow more what you do.
Don't sit there on your smartphone while you tell them they can't play on the video game.
Absolutely.
Let's start with TV and screen time as far as the Sylvan way goes.
Yes.
How much is too much or too little? Is there, and does it apply to all ages or teenagers?
I think it applies across the piece. When children are younger, you need to limit what they're watching. You need to screen what they're watching too. So if you have something violent happening on TV, you don't want your 6-year-old exposed to that.
No.
So you have to monitor there's sensory overload when it comes to anything that's green. If you look at studies that are done with blue light coming out of smartphones and tablets, that will tell their brain it's daytime, it's time to be up and running.
And active. This is not something you want to do right before bedtime.
No.
How about toys and encouraging creativity? I mean, again, it comes down to putting in front of our children something that takes their brain away from that blue light. Absolutely.
So investing some time and money into looking at things that will encourage problem solving, help them build dexterity, something that would require assembly or creativity.
Lego comes to mind.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Lego. And all the dads who have their work sheds in the back, take your children in there with you. Let them hammer a nail into a piece of wood. And of course, that has to be age appropriate, absolutely. But involve them in your projects.
Yeah.
Who says they have to be sitting there with their tablet while you're involved in a big reno in your household and everybody, all the adults.
Give them a job, let them get messy. Gotcha.
Let them get messy.
Quiet spaces and quiet time. This is something we often forget in our busy multitasking lives.
Yes, we do, and multitasking is a myth, especially when it comes to children. They're not adept at multitasking. Expecting them to do so is not fair to them because they need to concentrate on one thing at a time. If your middle schooler has an algebra exam, that's what they need to focus on at that time. Turn that TV off. Why is it on in the background? If your kitchen is big and noisy, maybe that's not the best place for them to be sitting down to study. And then, also for parents to sort of organize their own time so they can actually spend time with their children while they're sitting there trying to work through their homework. Behaviors are learned. Absolutely. If children have fallen into this pattern of behavior where they're always on, video games and screen time, breaking that habit will also take a lot of work on the part of the parents.
BJ, such great points, and I think that one right there, it's learned behavior.
Yes.
I'll never forget the day that my 6-year-old turned to me and said, "Mom, can you please put your phone down?"
Yes.
Because I was sitting there thinking, he's watching a show, he doesn't care what I'm doing, and I'm working away on my phone, and he said, "Please put it down." Now I put it away, and he is so much more engaged.
Yes.
That is a great place to start. Sylvan Learning Centers is a great place to go if your child needs that extra bit of support, whether it comes to reading or math or what have you. A lot of great stories coming out of Sylvan. Thank you very much for explaining some of the tips for us this morning.
Thank you for having me.